Welcome to this deep dive, where your mission today is to master the Ethical Hacker's IoT Field Manual so you can ace your certification. Let's jump right into the blueprint of the Internet of Things and get straight to what's on your slides.
Yeah, let's get right into it because you've got a lot of ground to cover for this exam.
Moving to slide 1, the Ethical Hacker's IoT Field Manual. And right off the bat, we're looking at this really cool visual of a sprawling smart city. We've got drones making deliveries, cars talking to traffic lights, buildings just managing their own power grids.
It's a great visual, honestly, because it perfectly illustrates why ethical hackers are so essential right now. When we say IoT, or really the Internet of Everything as it's becoming, we're talking about a massive system of devices using unique identifiers to send data.
Completely autonomously, right? Like no humans involved.
Exactly. Absolutely no human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction required.
Yeah.
And because these devices just act completely on their own, the attack surface is, well, it's unprecedented. Understanding those exact vulnerabilities is your core mission here.
Which means you need to know how to read the map. So moving to slide 2, decrypting the field notes are legend. As you go through this deck, you're going to see 3 specific icons. Okay, let's unpack this. First, the green brain icon.
Right, the mental model.
Yeah, the mental model. We use these to translate abstract tech concepts into real-world analogies just so they actually stick in your head.
And then you have the orange warning triangle. You really want to pay attention to this one. It's your trap alert. The exam writers, they love to use tricky phrasing to trip you up.
Oh, for sure. They are sneaky.
Very. So when we call out a trap, we are pointing out the exact landmines in the test bank. And finally, the blue crosshairs. Target locked.
Basically a guaranteed exam question.
Exactly. When you see the target, memorize those concepts completely.
All right, let's put that into practice.
Right.
Moving to slide 3. The anatomy of IoT, the 4 components. We're starting with a biological mental model here. Think of an IoT system exactly like the human body. First up, you have the devices.
Which act as the senses, right? The eyes and ears.
Yeah, the camera's capturing video or, a heart monitor capturing raw biometric data.
Right. And just like your eyes need a way to send what they see to your brain, IoT devices need the gateway system. Think of the gateway as the spinal cord.
So it's routing the raw data from the senses.
Exactly, using Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular, whatever, and then that data travels up the spinal cord to the data storage or the cloud.
Which acts as the brain. The software that actually analyzes the input. Like it realizes, oh, hey, that video feed shows a trespasser.
You got it. And finally, you have remote control, which is the conscious action, like the mobile apps or automated relays taking action based on the brain's analysis.
And we have our first target locked right here. Guaranteed exam question. What are the 4 primary systems of IoT technology? Your target answer is devices, gateway, data storage, and remote control.
But, and this is a big butt trap alert, do not get fooled by distractors on this question. They will try to sneak in words like sensors, apps, or internet.
Wait, let me clarify that for everyone because I know people get tripped up. A sensor isn't a device.
Technically, no. Sensors are inside the devices. The device is the whole casing. Apps are just one type of remote control. And the internet is just part of the gateway.
Okay. Stick strictly to the core 4. So, based on the anatomy of IoT, here is your first scenario question to think about. Imagine you are building a smart home security system. Identify one specific piece of hardware or software for each of the 4 biological components and explain how they interact to lock a door when a stranger is detected. Provide a 2 to 3 sentence response.
So reasoning through that, the porch camera is the device detecting motion. The home router is the gateway transmitting it. The AWS server is the cloud analyzing the image. And the smart deadbolts motor is the remote control locking the door.
Perfect. So if that's the anatomy, how is all that data managed? Moving to slide 4, the 5-layer architecture of the corporate ladder. We are shifting from biology to business.
Right. If the 4 components are anatomy, the 5 layers are the management structure. Imagine a massive corporation. At the very bottom, you have the edge technology layer.
The frontline workers. Hardware, sensors, RFID tags, collecting raw data.
Exactly. Then you move up to the access gateway, the regional managers. Their job is to compress and digitize that data so it's small enough to transmit efficiently.
Because raw data is just too massive, right?
Really too massive. From there, it hits the internet layer, which is the shipping network moving data, then the middleware layer.
Corporate HQ in the cloud, managing and filtering the data. It's the big interface between the hardware and the apps.
And sitting at the very top is the application layer, the CEO, delivering data to the end user to make decisions.
Target locked. If a question asks what has 5 layers edge, access gateway, internet, middleware, application, the answer is IoT architecture.
Massive trap alert here, though. Do not mix up the 5-layer architecture with the 4-component systems we just did.
Right, keep those numbers separate. Architecture is 5, systems is 4. So, scenario question 2 for students. If a manufacturer's smart sensors are overloading the cloud with massive uncompressed data files, which specific architectural layer is failing to do its job, and how should it function instead?
Well, looking at the latter, the regional managers are failing. The access gateway layer isn't doing its job. It should be compressing and digitizing that data locally before sending it up to the internet.
Spot on. Moving to slide 5. Communication models. How devices talk. Devices don't all gossip the same way. We have 4 models. First, device to device.
Small packets, low data rates, like a smart bulb talking straight to a smart switch.
Then device to cloud. A direct Wi-Fi or Ethernet connection straight to the internet. But what about device to gateway? Why use a middleman?
Mostly for security and translation, some tiny sensors use protocols the internet doesn't understand natively. So they talk to a hub or your smartphone, which translates it and adds a security check before it hits the cloud.
Makes sense. And the last one is back-end data sharing, where authorized third parties access cloud data. Target locked for this slide. Annabelle purchased a smart speaker and connected it locally to all smart devices in her home. She is using the device-to-device model.
Right, because it's a local direct connection.
Moving to slide 6, the connectivity matrix, protocols, categorizing by range.
Yeah.
Short range includes NFC, RFID, Thread, Zigbee, Z-Wave, Bluetooth Low Energy, and Li-Fi. Wait, Li-Fi uses visible light bulbs at 224 gigabits per second.
Yeah, it's wild. It's incredibly fast, but obviously constrained by line of sight.
Medium range has Halo, which is like extended Wi-Fi for rural areas, and LTE Advanced. Then long range uses LPWAN, like LoRaWAN and Sigfox.
Which you use instead of cellular because cellular drains batteries way too fast. LPWAN lets a battery last for years.
Good to know. And wired protocols are MoCA and PLC, target locked. A short-range wireless personal area network supporting low-power, long-use IoT needs is BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy.
Notice those keywords. Short range, low power.
Let's look at the software side. Moving to slide 7. OS Matchmaker, connecting software to hardware. Here's where it gets really interesting. You can't just slap a desktop OS on a tiny device.
No, absolutely not. If you have an aerospace system or a medical device, it needs a real-time operating system, an RTOS like Nucleus or Integrity.
Because it needs to process inputs instantly, right? No buffering.
Zero latency. It's deterministic. Life or death. Now, if it's a drone or robot needing high-speed video processing, you use Ubuntu Core, also known as Snappy.
And for low-power wearables.
Riot OS, RM Embedded, or Zephyr.
Target locked. Scenario. Eugen drove his smart car to the beach to fly his drone?
Yeah.
The answer. His car uses Integrity RTOS, and his drone uses Snappy.
All right, scenario question 3 for the students. You are deploying a massive network of soil monitoring sensors in a rural farming area, as well as an automated high-speed harvesting vehicle. Select an appropriate communication protocol from slide 6 and an operating system from slide 7 for both technologies, justifying your pairing.
Okay, so the soil sensors need LPWAN like LoRaWAN for long battery life, paired with Riot OS. And the harvesting vehicle needs real-time reflexes, so Integrity RTOS, paired with cellular for high bandwidth.
You nailed it.
Taking a bit of serious turn down? Moving to slide 8. The security nightmare. Why IoT is vulnerable. 4 massive flaws here. 1, a complete lack of security and privacy. Data isn't redacted. 2, hard to update firmware.
Yeah, updates often break functionality, or the device is just running an abandoned legacy Linux kernel forever.
3, clear text and open ports. I hear this all the time. Why not just encrypt it?
Because a cheap sensor simply lacks the CPU power to run encryption algorithms. It just can't do the math.
Wow. And 4, default and weak credentials. Still shipping with admin. Which brings us to a target locked. The scenario. Joelle creates an app requiring 2FA and strong passwords. She is overcoming the challenge of default, weak, and hard-coded credentials.
Exactly.
Moving to slide 9. The threat landscape and OWASP is the defender here, the Open Web Application Security Project.
There are nonprofit of developers publishing the top 10 vulnerabilities, like injection or broken off.
And the threats. DDoS attacks, creating a zombie army of devices, HVAC exploits, hacking air conditioning to steal data,
Yeah, that lateral movement tactic is devastating.
and ransomware. 2 targets locked here. The nonprofit providing security resources is OWASP, and an attack utilizing encryption to lock out a user or deny access is ransomware.
Here's scenario question 4 for you. A corporate network is completely shut down because hackers managed to infiltrate the building's smart air conditioning system. Explain how an HVAC attack facilitates lateral movement into a secure network and identify which OWASP vulnerability might have allowed the initial breach.
Well, the HVAC was probably on a trusted internal VLAN, and the initial breach was likely broken authentication because they left the default factory passwords on the unit.
Exactly right. Okay, this next slide is critical.
Moving to slide 10. The heist, IoT hacking methodology. I love this part. It's basically a 5-step movie heist. Step 1, information gathering. Casing the joint using Shodan or Senses to grab banners.
Step 2 is vulnerability scanning. Checking the windows with tools like Retina IoT to find default creds.
Step 3, launch attacks. Breaking in with DDoS, jamming, or RF crack. Step 4, gain remote access. Opening the vault by using the device as a backdoor.
And step 5, maintain access. Propping the door open. This is the ultimate goal. You clear logs, install Trojans, just stay hidden inside.
Target locked. You must memorize this exact sequence. Information gathering, vulnerability scanning, launch attacks, gain remote access, maintain access.
Do not mix those up.
Let's check the gear. Moving to slide 11. The hacker's toolkit, identify the weapon. Senses is first.
Senses is a public search engine that constantly monitors the internet. It uses Zmap and Zgrab to scan the entire IKv4 address space every single day.
Every day. That's insane. And Bestorm.
It's a highly intelligent smart fuzzer. It tests over 50 protocols by automating malicious input, trying to crash the application so it glitches and fails open.
We also have Retina IoT for checking default creds, and Zniffer, a hardware tool for capturing Z-Wave traffic, target locked. During a pentest, Omar found unpredicted responses from an application. He was using Bestorm.
Final scenario, question 5. As an ethical hacker, you are tasked with auditing a smart city's infrastructure. Describe how you would utilize Senses in the first step of your methodology and how you would transition to using Bestorm later in the process.
So step 1, use Senses to scan public IP ranges for exposed traffic controllers. Then in step 3, use Bestorm to fuzz those controllers to see if they crash and just turn all the lights green.
Terrifying, but accurate.
Almost done. Moving to slide 12. Pitfalls and distractors, the exam minefield. Quick review. Do not mix up the 4 biological systems with the 5 corporate architecture layers.
Don't confuse a DDoS zombie army attack with a ransomware encryption attack. And Li-Fi is visible light, Wi-Fi is radio waves.
Moving to slide 13, the final exam cheat sheet, and slide 14. Mission ready. We did it. You have the architecture blueprints, the protocol matrices, and the 5-step hacker's playbook to pass this cert.
You are definitely ready.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
But consider this before you go. With millions of new, cheap IoT devices coming online every single day, and many of them still shipping with admin default passwords and no processing power for encryption, are we building a smarter world? Or are we just building the largest, most vulnerable zombie army the internet has ever seen? Good luck on your exam, and keep questioning the architecture around you.